morning, guys. My name is still Babishebi Samson. So I'm still the lead tutor handling this CSC 206 human computer interactions. I know many of you might think maybe this course how relevant it is to your course of study. It's very, very important and you need to take it serious. As we have rightly dissect the section 1, we are moving into section 2 of the course, unit 1, user perspective of human computer interaction. What do we understand by this? So, the definition and the introduction of the human computer interaction remain the same. The objective of the course still remain the same. But the outcome of this particular class, at the end of it, we expect students to be able to at least the socio-technical model that look at the human and technical requirements. We also expect them to at least be able to understand the soft system methodology that consider the broader view of human and organizational issues. We also expect students to at least be able to the participatory design that include the user directly in the design process. The ethnographic method that study users in context with unbiased perspective. These are all 4 key components that we expect students to at least be able to understand at the end of this unit in section 2. The oriented perspective of computer interaction, social, human trust. This unit concerns social organization issues and stakeholders' requirements. Organizational issues affect acceptance of new computer systems because where there are conflict of power, the question arises on who benefit and who encourage the use. Stakeholders of a new computer system identify their requirements in organizational context. Organizational context may play different roles in internal and external situations. For an organizational information system to be used by organizational employees, organizational context analysis answer questions such as what is the large system where this information system is embedded and what are the interactions with other entities in the organization and what are the organizational policy or practice that may affect individual attitudes and behaviors towards using the system. What they are simply saying is that for every new systems, the stakeholder identify the requirements for the organizational use. The requirements that the employee of the organization must key into it. And some of the questions that arise from those requirements is, what is the purpose of those information in a larger system? And then, how are those information will be embedded? That is, entrenched in the system, and what are the interactions with other entities in the organization? That is, other factors or other units of the organization, how would they be able to interrelated or working together with those new systems? So they also consider what are the organizational policy or practice that may affect individual attitude and behaviors towards the new system. That is, the organizational practice, what the kind of activities that that organization carry out, and the policy that guide those activities, how those 2 factors will affect the behavior of the staff and the strength of the organization. And they said the event in sociological, organizational, and cultural impact of the computing. In other words, organizational, social, and cultural context in which human interacts with the IT. This context is largely the result of the broader adoption of the IT by the organization and society to support organizational function and goal and to enhance societal development. So now, let's look at the organizational issue. Organizational factor can make or break a system. Studying the work group is not sufficient since any system is used within a wider context and crucial people need not be directed user. Therefore, before installing a new system, one must understand number one, who benefits, number two, who puts in effort. Meaning that before you can at least install a new system or put a new system in place, you first of all need to identify who are those people who will benefit directly from this new system. Then, who are those people that's going to make effort in putting those systems in place. The balance of power in an organization and how the system will be affected. Even when the system is successful, it may be difficult to measure that success. Conflict and power in computer supported cooperative work. People and group have conflict goals. Hence, the system design assumes cooperation will fail. For example, in a computerized stock control, the storeman loses control of information and may decide to suspend the system before or after it becomes operational. Therefore, it is important to identify stakeholders, not just the user. What they are simply saying there is that for every new system that is put in place, there is high level of understanding that's supposed to take place, whereby the stakeholders need to be carried along and they need to see the benefit of those new systems, because some of the new systems takes away some of their power, their control. So in order for them not to feel idle or feel being vilified, they need to be carried out, they need to be oriented, they need to at least proper orientation needs to take place, because to avoid subverting or sabotaging the function of the new system. So it is important that, because I recall when a cable company who is making an inroad into expansion of his business employed my service to at least put a system in place, a functioning and control system in place that will enhance and improve his operational efficiency. I remember then when I and my team went to Alaba to take a stock of all the inventories, all the items in the stock. We could understand what we went through in the hands of the stakeholders and how the stakeholders saw our involvement. Many of these stakeholders wear boxers with zippers, but many of them have they have made tremendous money from this individual that employed our service. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of improvement, there's a lot of things we put in place, and I bet you that was at least when the guy was able to realize his assets from his liability. And most of those things were not that easy to do. So this is one of those things this course is trying to at least explain to you that when you are putting a new system in place, there is a lot of activities that are supposed to go along with the organizational structure. Groupware affects organizational structure, so also communication structure reflect in line management. For example, email is a cross-organizational communication Organizational structure can also disenfranchise lower management and disaffected staff to sabotage because technology can be used to change management style and power structure. The implementation of such technology will improve upon organizational efficiency. For example, organizational efficiency may be affected due to the design of workflow among critical business units that is affected by this implemented IT. Satisfaction and retention of customer clients are anticipated due to accurate and fast information gathering and presentation to name the view. What they are trying to tell us there is that when you are putting a new structure, especially a new IT structure, to improve organizational efficiency, many low-level staff or management structure can be affected and many workflow can be improved. Standardization and automation can take place if you are improving a system, and many power structure can change. And email system is one of the traceable or efficient way of communication in an organization because it is very difficult to deny a memo or email that is being sent because any mail that is sent or received capture date, capture time, capture information that's embedded in those emails, which cannot be denied by both parties, depending on the structure put in place, or depending the recipient and the initiator of such mail. So telecommunications, invisible workers. Telecommunications improves allow neighborhood work center, home-based teleworking. Many ecological and economic benefits arise from teleworking, such as reduced travel and flexible family commitment. But management by presence is absent. The presence in the office increase perceived worth and reduce problem from promotions. Barriers to teleworking are both managerial and social, but not technological. The new system should benefit all. Disproportionate effort should be avoided. Examine who put in the effort and who gets the benefit. It is possible to get benefit without doing work. If everyone does it, system fails. System falls into disuse to get started. Look for click to form core user base and design to benefit and initiate small user base. What they are trying to say there is that like work from home that we have during COVID and several off-station work that was initiated due to technological know-how has helped to improve performance, improve many workflow activities, and also increase family commitment because some people who do school runs are able to shift between activities from their family and then work. And if a good and quality system is put in place, it will not even hinder the performance of each worker or create room for laziness or create room for inefficiency. Proper workflow, proper monitoring from off station can increase efficiency and increase productivity. These are things that new technology and communication has been able to at least help. Evaluating the benefit. Assuming we have avoided the pitfall, how do we measure our success? Job satisfaction and information flow and economic benefits should be diffused throughout the organization. There is need to identify requirements within context of use and the need to take account of stakeholders. Work groups and practice should be identified in organizational context. Many approaches include socio-technical modeling, soft system modeling, and participatory design and contextual inquiry are used. These are 3 or 4 models that can be employed to improve the benefit of the job. So who are the stakeholders? The system, we have many stakeholders with potentially conflict interests. Stakeholder is anyone affected by success or failure of system. The primary stakeholder actually use the system. The secondary receive output or provide input, while the tertiary have no direct involvement but are those affected by the success or failure of the system. Facilitators are those involved in developing or deploying of the system. What they are trying to say in essence is that how do we identify stakeholders in every system? Some of the stakeholders are those who are directly using the system, while secondary are those people who receive the output or provide input to the system. While we have other tertiary who are directly involved or that the system, the failure and the success of the system directly affected. And we also have facilitators. Those are the people who eventually develop the system and deploy that system. So these are general stakeholders of every system. It could be surface system that is developed, it could be technical system that is developed, it could be operational or production system that is developed. So irrespective of whatever system that is developed, all stakeholders are directly or indirectly affected with the success and failure of that system. And every system is developed to solve a particular problem or to provide solution to a particular bottleneck. So, examples: classifying stakeholders. An airline booking system, for example, an international airline is considering introducing a new booking system for use by associated travel agents to sell flights directly to the public. Primary stakeholder of such system, the travel agency staff, and the airline booking staff secondary. And airline booking staff, those are the primary. Then the secondary stakeholders, customers and the airline management. Then the tertiary stakeholders there are the competitors, civil aviation authorities, customer traveling companions, and the airline stakeholders, shareholders. Facilitating stakeholder, the design team and the information technology department staff. Designer needs to meet as many stakeholders' need as possible. Usually, need may be in conflict, so they have to prioritize. Often priority decrease as one moves down the categories. So, if you look at the category of all the stakeholders for the new system that is being deployed, the new system that is being deployed is tagged as here new airline booking system. You understand what I'm saying? So the new airline booking system that is being considered will create room for the travel agent staff and airline booking staff to adapt with the new system. Then who are the direct secondaries to are the customers and the airline management. Those who are managing the airline and the customers, those are the secondary, and the tertiary are the competitors, aviations and the likes. Then why the facilitator are the people who model the system. So they said that those who model the system, their priority changes down the line of the categories depending on what is required of them. Then social technical model. This is a response to technological determinism, and it is concerned with the technical, social, organization and human aspect of the design. It also describes the impact of specific technology on organization. It is concerned with information gathering such as interviews, observation, discussion with focus group, and document analysis. Several approaches to be considered are the stakeholders focus and the ESTA 8-stage task analysis. So, stakeholders focus. This comprises 6 stages process that focus on stakeholders. The first describes the organizational context, including primary goals, physical characteristics, political and economical background. The second identify and describe the stakeholders, including personal issues, roles in organization and their job. The third identify and describe the work group, whether formally constituted or not. The fourth identify and describe task, object pairs. These are tasks to be performed and object use the fit. Why the object use, sorry. The fifth, identify the stakeholders' needs. Stage 2 to 4 described above are in terms of both current and proposed system. The stakeholder needs are identified from the differences between the two. Lastly, we consolidate and check the stakeholder requirement against the earlier criteria. So these are very 6 stages that require a system developer to focus on all those 6 stages and how it affects the stakeholders and their requirements. Then the 8-stage task, ESTA. This is an 8-stage model that focuses on task alone. The primary task is identified in terms of in terms of users' goals. Secondly, task inputs to the system are identified. Thirdly, the external environment into which the system will be introduced is described, including physical, economic, and political aspects. While the transformation processes within the system are described in terms of action performed on or with objects. Then the 5th stage, the social system is analyzed by considering existing internal and external work group and relationship. At the 6th stage, the technical system is described in terms of configuration and integration with the other system. At the 7th stage, the performance satisfaction criteria are established, indicating social and technical requirements of the system, while the last stage specifies the new technical system. These 8-stage task analysis are crucial when modeling a new system for stakeholders. So, soft system methodology. The soft system methodology considers the broader view of human and organizational issues. It considers these two. There is no assumption of technological solution here. Emphasis is on understanding the situation fully. This methodology was developed by Checkland. The 7 stages involved here are recognition of problem and initiation of analysis. 2. Detailed description of problem situation. It is a rich picture stage. 3. Generation of the root definition of the system. This is known as capital C definition below. Then conceptual model This identified transformation, this compare real world to conceptual model, then identify necessary change, then why the sixth is determine action to affect changes. So, cartoon. The definition is clients, actors, transformation, world view, owners, environments. Further define and explain the soft system methodology. So, clients, those who receive output or benefit from the system actors. Benefit from the system, full stop. Actor, those who perform activities within the system. Transformation, the changes that are affected by the system. Then worldview, how the system is perceived in a particular root definition. Owners, those who the system belong, to whom it is answerable and who can authorize changes to it. Then the environment, the world in which the system operates, by which it is influenced. These are clinical and straightforward definition of CAT's role. Participatory. In participatory design, workers enter into design contests while ethnographic as used for design. The designer enter into work contests. Both make workers feel valued in design and encourage workers to own products. The user is an active member of the design team. Characteristics. Participatory design is context and work oriented rather than system oriented. It is collaborative and interactive. Methods involved are brainstorming, storyboarding, and workshop, pencil and paper exercise. The reason why is we are talking about participatory design is because both the designer and the worker, both of them work in collaborative, so that they will be able to present a one-front system that is going to be acceptable for all. Ethics. The ethics involves the participative social technical approach devices by Mumford. It states that the system development is about managing change that non-participants are more likely to be what? Dissatisfied. There are three levels of participation: consultative, representative, and consensus. Design group include stakeholders, representatives, make design decisions, and job satisfaction is the key to solution. See the unit on participatory design for more details. Ethnographic. This is a very influential in collaborative system. It is a form of anthropological study with special focus on social relationship and does not enter actively into situation. It seeks to understand social culture. It is unbiased and open-ended. So contextual inquiry. Here are Here in inquiry is conducted in ethnographic tradition, but acknowledges and challenges investigator focus. It creates a model of investigator being apprenticed to the user in order to learn about the work. The investigation takes place in workplace with detailed interview, observations, and analysis of communications, physical workplace, and artifacts. Numbers of models created according to sequence, physical, flow, cultural, and artifacts. The models are consolidated across users. While the output indicates task sequence, the artifact and communication channel needed the physical and cultural constraint. So you can see that it is a straightforward unit which made us to come to a conclusion that a work group practice should be identified organizational context. Many approaches include social technical modeling, soft system modeling, participatory design, and contextual inquiry have been explained. In conclusion, there is the need to identify requirements within context of use and the need to take account of stakeholders. So, in summary, the social human trust analysis explains the social technical model of human and technical requirements, the system methodology that considers human and organizational issues, the participatory design that includes the user directly in the design process, and the ethnographic method that study users in context with unbiased perspective. I'm glad that you guys came to class and you will be able to understand this more when you read broadly on your own, or you read what you have been taught over and over again, so that at least you can be able to understand the importance and reason why this course is very, very crucial to the line of your study. Thanks for your presence. We have come to the end of this class. Thanks for listening. Hope to see you in the next class.